If you are looking for a great quad isolation exercise, especially if you're training at home, then this sissy squat video is for you. So there are a couple of different variations of sissy squats out there today. The first is the more conventional way, and that's using just pure body weight, and you basically bend over, pivot at the knees, and your knees go way far beyond your toes as you're leaning back. It puts a lot of stress on the quads, but it also puts tons and tons of stress on your knees, and you can't really control the resistance that well. So if you're just getting started, that one is super hard to do. The other variation, which is a lot more common nowadays, is using the sissy squat machine or a sissy squat bench that basically locks your legs in and allows you to pivot about your knees so that you can put tons of stress on your quads, but you can control the resistance so that you don't have to have so much stress on your knees while you're building up strength. The variation that I want to show you today is a home variation that allows you to use bands to basically replicate the sissy squat machine so that you can do these no matter where you are. All right, so here is how you're going to set these up. What I like to use is a Clench Fitness anchor strap, and then I wrap it around something that's very sturdy. Whether you're using a door or a squat rack or a post, you just want this thing to be very sturdy because it's supporting all of your body weight. And the reason why I like the Clench anchor strap is because it's very long, so it can get me out away from whatever I'm anchoring to. And then it also has this nice tube on the end so that I can grab a 41-inch resistance band. And you want to use something that's pretty heavy here because it's going to be supporting your body weight, and that is the job of it. So you need to have a pretty good sized band. I'm using the Clench Fitness blue band here, and what I do is I loop it through, fold it in half, and now I'm going to loop one leg into each side of the band here. I like to get it nice and centered in my anchor point, and the height of your anchor point, you want it to be right around knee height, maybe just a little bit lower, because we're going to be hooking the band basically one side around our legs here, getting it all nice and even, and then make sure to equalize the lengths between both sides so that we're getting even resistance. And then I usually just scoot this thing down and hook it just below my knees. And we're gonna need some range of motion here. So keep it right in a spot where it's not gonna get pinched in your knee joint. And then also, to get set into this exercise, I like to preload it a little bit. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna step back into the exercise here, and the band is gonna start having tension on it. So it's like pulling my knees into this flex position so that when I go down, it's going to be able to support my weight. And now to go down, it's gonna be a lot like sitting into a chair, at least to get started. And you like to keep your chest behind your knees as you're going down into this. I usually put my hands kind of up here, and you might need to do a little bit of balancing as we go down, especially when you're getting used to this. And to go down, basically drive those feet into the ground. You make sure the ground is secure because your feet will want to slide around. You need to be driving those feet down into the ground. And then we're gonna set ourselves down nice and low here, as low as you can get. Don't bounce out of the bottom, just pause at the bottom and then begin yourself back up. And then at the top, so we get to this point here, this is about where I started. Now, one thing that you can do here is really engage those quads by basically flexing those quads, straightening them out, and you notice I'm actually stretching this band. So I'm basically getting extra engagement here that you could not get with a sissy squat bench. And this is what I absolutely love about the banded sissy squats, is this extra engagement at the top, big squeeze, and then we come back down nice and slow. Pause at the bottom, boom, big squeeze at the top, and this lights those quads on fire. Ooh. And that's a few reps. My quads are already half smoked. Like typically I do these just about every single week, and I'm only able to get sets of like 6 to 8 reps. So you're going to have to work yourself into these, and using a heavier band to start is good for support, but then it's also going to be very heavy at the top of that rep. So make sure that you try a few different bands and kind of find that sweet spot where you can get that full range of motion with the big squeeze at the top. You may be thinking, where do I throw these into my quad workout routine? Typically, I like to program these either at the beginning of the quad day so that you can basically pre-exhaust your quads, get a lot of stress on them, get a lot of blood into them before you go into the big compound exercises, or I'll throw them in later towards the end. Whether I'm doing like a superset where I do another exercise, like usually it's like single leg stuff, and then I'll do a superset with these sissy squats to just really put more blood in and just burn these guys out completely. Or I'll just do a couple of sets at the very end of my workout to do the same thing, just burn these things out and really focus on the form and squeeze in those quads. So if you like this video, be sure to smash that like button. Also, check out these on-screen video links. We have tons of content on our YouTube channel just like this, and I would encourage you to keep watching. Also, if you need any of the equipment or accessories shown today, head over to clenchfitness.com, and thank you for watching.